Hi everybody, Spike here with your surf report for Tuesday the 23rd of June all the way through to next weekend, Friday the 3rd of July. We're just going to include that because there's so much action happening over the next 10 days or so, including these two huge storms, one of which is going to smash right into us and the other one is going to pass a little bit below us, followed by a whole crazy situation developing out in the deep with a very huge conglomeration of storms with astronomical fetch. But let's just rewind back to today, Tuesday afternoon, 4 o'clock, and let's just have a look at this little storm that's approaching us. Funnily enough, I'm also going to point out a few little anomalies within the European Centre for Medium Weather Forecasts, ECMWF, and GFS, the Global Forecasting System, which is American-based. For starters, let's have a look at, always like to see wind gusts. So the European model calls the wind gusts that are approaching us at the moment gale force at that point in the storm, and then GFS, for instance, gives us not even gale force. So I'll just stick with the more exciting one, where there's more purple, because purple is such a fun color. So let's have a look close up now. I'm just going to go through basically the conditions as they're coming up in the next couple of days, but then we'll just fast forward to the other two duck storms that are approaching. So Tuesday and Wednesday, sunny conditions over most of the country. The storms are really just slanting across our bow, so to speak, in a diagonal fashion. But the cloud and the rain is going to arrive on Thursday, early Thursday. It starts to arrive, and the rain arrives in the afternoon. Let's just go back to GFS, and let's just go back to wind and wind gusts. So strong forerunner winds across the whole of the Karoo and internally. Northeast winds off the KZN coast as that wind sucks down towards the oncoming low, and nice fresh berg winds all the way along the Cape Coast on Thursday. And then the storm arrives. We have some stiff winds in Cape Town, and then it basically moves along. A bit of a buster goes up the coast on Friday afternoon, and then on Saturday this other storm arrives, and then another buster smashes up the coast on Saturday. First of all, let's just have a look at the swell. So that little storm does bring quite a lot of swell. We're looking at 15 feet at 12 seconds. The European model has this like DOF habit of giving us the lower end of the spectrum in terms of the swell period. Don't know why it does that, so I'll much prefer GFS for the swell. So southwest 16 feet at 12 seconds and spreading east, going all the way up the coast. You can still see the effects of some northeast wind swell there. Northeast 9 foot 8 second wind swell, which probably translates to a slushy 2 to 3, 4 foot along the northern beaches. And then Friday night, 13 feet 12 seconds, so there's a little bit of swell. But as we can see, the wind is obviously offshore all the way along the coast by Friday night, all the way up the KZN coast as well. So let's look at the second storm. Now, this is a proper winter storm. We're starting to get proper waves. 17 seconds in the inner part of the storm, and that is going to arrive on Sunday. 16 second swell all the way up the coast, 17 second swell. So basically just going gangbusters. I mean, Saturday it starts out 21 feet at 13 seconds in the morning, building to 22 feet at 14 seconds, 24 feet at 15 seconds, 25 feet at 16 seconds, Sunday 22 at 16, 20 at 15, and so on. But epic surf ahead. I mean, Monday looks like an epic day all the way along the coast with offshore winds, fresh to strong actually in parts. And then a bit of a high is ridging in off Cape Town, and southeast winds are appearing. And then a very long range 15 foot 20 second swell is arriving. And of course, where does that come from? So the suggestion here really, and let's just go to our ECMWF, and this is where the clue is, because look, 68, 70 knots of wind in the peak around there. And if we look at the distance planning, that's 1,500 nautical miles. Yeah, so if you wanted to just take a very rough calculation, it means it's going to take 2 days to arrive. And guess what? It arrives pretty much in 2 days. And then there's this huge morass of weather out here in the deep. So let's go to the wind. Let's look at wind gusts. Let's go to the European models. And we've got this gigantic fetch that's like pretty much the length of South America, with winds around these whole conglomeration of low pressure systems. This is on Tuesday next week, so it kind of forms on Monday with this vast area of wind, and then it kind of links up with another low pressure system and is almost becoming like a gigantic superstorm. I mean, we're talking, a fetch of 2,300 miles. That's just phenomenal. That's like almost the whole length of Africa. But GFS has got this crazy storm. Look at that for perspective. That's massive. It's a continent-sized series of storms that all seem to be turning in on each other. Look at that. Wow. Anyway, that's about it. I've waffled on for long enough. Excuse the very loose structure of these video forecasts. It's just really a little glimpse at the weather out there. Thanks for watching.